Hi, and welcome to episode 94. My goodness, of Super Pros Bros. I'm player one, Ack, and with me as always is.
Player two, Eli, and Broses. You know this podcast is on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify.
Adonai Brosiah! Are those the same places they could?
Like,
Comment
share,
and subscribe!
it most certainly is.
Ah! That's amazing.
I'm gonna need you to calm down. This is a workplace.
Do not make me be forced to call HR. Henry Rollins? No! The other HR.
I'm gonna stop you before you continue this crazy fucking spiral you started. Good lord.
You're gonna have to say something if you want me to stop.
Okay, well, so I don't want to hand you back a microphone, so I'm just the last week or two have been pretty good.
Up until I started recording.
Up until we started this shit. Ruined my day. Jesus, so mentally derailed.
Why is it rude? I'm telling mom. What has made the last 2 weeks so good? Other than not doing this show with me.
Other than being free from your influence, I have continued seeing a new person, Sarah. That continues to be good. It's so nice, easy hanging out with them, and things are great. Last couple weeks I got new glasses, so the world is clearer now.
Yay!
Which big fan of being able to see very clearly again and like having definition on things farther away.
Was that one of those things that you're like, oh, I guess this is time, and then when you put them on, you're like, oh shit, I really needed those, or was it I need those? I guess it's time.
It was the former. It was like it's probably time, and then like, oh my god, I was losing so much detail at distance. It's like one of those slow decay things where it's like, this seems a little fuzzy, and then it's like I get an updated prescription, like, oh, that's how I can read from distance. Right, neat. So like for day to day use, it really didn't make that much difference, but just like there's little things I noticed, like there's just clarity, a little bit less blur. Anyway, very nice. And I played. I gave E22 a try again. I'm like, all right, you have an update. We'll see how you're doing. Honestly, not bad. They fixed a lot of the shit I hated. Not perfect, but not bad. I enjoyed playing it for like a week and a half. Given my fucking like epitaph that I gave on it earlier for like last year, how much it just drove me up a wall. Excuse me. And recently, I have been playing an absolute shitload of Borderlands 4 since it came out on the 11th. I actually just finished the campaign of it yesterday with Bill and Hybris, and it's been a fucking ball. I am so glad. The writing doesn't suck. The villains aren't terrible. The humor is way better. Like, just
how's the gameplay and layout?
Gameplay is really good, actually. Bar like, I have like two kind of complaints with the game, and like one is there's just some dumb invisible walls from time to time, and like there is one zone that just has some trouble traversing because there's just weird verticality, and it's like they give you like a hookshot thing, and I wish they put more places in that you can use the hookshot to go over like little hills, like little mountainsides and shit like that. Because it feels like there is an opportunity to make the game more traversable, and they kind of don't.
Sure.
But as far as like moment to moment gameplay, it holds up really well. Like there's a lot of fights that feel chaotic as crap, but you don't feel overwhelmed. Like it's just on that cusp, and so it feels really good. It's like there's a couple like kind of gauntlet things we did where none of us talked for like 2 minutes, And at the end, we're just like, whoo, okay. Like, it really rides that line very well. So, gameplay wise, great. It's very good.
Awesome.
So, very happy. I feel like comparing it to Borderlands 2 is not a false, or not like a false equivalency. Like,
Damn.
I don't know that it's as good as Borderlands 2, but that made me nostalgia blinders. I don't think the
Sure.
villains is good, but he is good.
Sure. That's sweet.
Yeah. So the nerd in me has been quite happy. And I have started slamming my head back into learning Japanese again and reclaiming some of the language that I have fucking lost. Just stupid. At my own fault. Because I am looking at going and visiting Colton and Okinawa next year.
Woo! Oh, you looked into tickets and all that shit?
Yep. So the hope is that I will probably go around like April 10th.
Nice.
So
This is
yeah,
2026.
yeah.
Yeah. Dope sauce.
So life's all right.
All right, so I've got some small updates and then a couple of short stories that I'll run through your earballs.
Sure.
One, over the course of like 3 days, I went from all right, set up a TSA pre-check certification appointment, go in, and then get TSA pre-check certified. Don't know if most not existent like necessary thing to get in forms of security, as that was way too quick, but we have it now, so that's great. I don't know that something where you don't have to like. I think this proves the like irrelevancy of TSA. If I can, for the next 5 years, not have to go through them, have them check jack shit, is something that can be done effectively in 24 hours of waiting period time over my phone. Of they scan my fingerprints and they scan my ID, and that was it. Like that's a lot too little for a lot too much leniency. So I'll take it, but yeah, well, got him. My streak of crushing this Magic season has officially reached an end. I O2'd yesterday in loving glory. And to top important things in my life off, I got a 17-month-old bill from my dentist because their biller was dog shit, and I'm trying really hard to not pay this. Like
Sorry,
they
17 months.
Yeah, February of last year is when it's from, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you owe us $300." I'm like, "It's cute that you think that. Know that this is if you get this money, it's the last money you get from me, and or you're never gonna get money from again because I'm never coming back to you. I don't give a fuck if it's the billers, in quote billers' fault. You fucking went through them and you told me fuck all. So this is I'm now looking for a new dentist at the very least, as well as potentially a lawyer to fight this shit because this is bull crap. Anyway, and the funnier side of things. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You pick.
Start with 3.
I'm standing at an ice cream line and I overhear this conversation between a mother and a daughter. The daughter puts the mom's phone away in her backpack. Mom, honey, I need that to pay. Can't you pay with cash? I could, but phones are easier. The daughter hands back the phone. Phones are gross. I love after dealing with kids that cannot be like, you might as well chop their dick off as much take their phone away. Yeah. I love hearing a kid not just be enamored with phones at any age, let alone the speaking age. So it's like,
like it is a tad refreshing to hear. Honestly.
It's refreshing. It was also cute as like the way she said it was such a reason. Phones are gross. It's just like
the right amount of like adolescent indignity.
Yeah, it wasn't towards her mom, which is the best part. It wasn't like, "Mom, you're disgusting for having a phone." It was just
phones, just phones in general.
Gross. It's like, this girl fucking rocks. All right, so 1, 2, or 4.
Let's go with 1. Let's do the odds.
Playing a game of Magic the other day, and I'm trying to figure out a play of whether I should make it or not, and then I'm like, wait, I can do some math as to whether this play is good or not, because if my opponent does not draw a mana source, I want to make this play. And I know his relative deck list, so I go, okay, there are 5 lands. You need number 6. There's 22 in your deck. That means there's 17 remaining. Do a quick count. I'm doing this kind of like no, I'm not trying to hide the information. I'm doing it kind of
Sure.
out in the open. I'm like, okay, so there's 17, or there's 17 left. You've got about 51 cards. He goes, actually, I was like 51 cards, so it's like 33%. He goes, actually, I've got 48, so it's more like 43%. I take a beat. I'm like, no. He goes, yeah, I mean, it's like it dials it up. Trust me, I'm in stats. And I go, that's horrifying, because he's not a student. I know he is like I know this guy through passing, and I know that he's like out in the working world. So when he says I'm in stats, that means that's his job. And I'm like, oh. And then he goes, trust me, I'm in stats. I die a little inside, and he goes, and like 10%'s not that big a difference.
Ugh.
And then my soul died. I was like, bruh! Like, I need to talk to your boss. I'm sorry. You should not be allowed to say those things all in the same breath. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm sorry. So 17 and 51 as opposed to 17 and 48?
Yes.
Okay,
it's
that makes
not
it close.
43%. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah,
it's 35.
That puts it like just over a third.
Yeah, a third is 17 out of 51. So my initial conjecture was correct, 33%. So it moves it up some amount. It doesn't move up 30%.
It's like 36%.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah, him pitching it's 20% more likely than that is psychotic.
Yeah, and then also the 10%'s not that big a difference. People talk about it like it is. It's because it fucking is.
Yeah,
10%'s
10% context matters, but if your thing is a 10% chance to happen and you're a 10% fucking range of error, that is 100% more variety. What are you talking about?
Also, I mean, 10% in fields like this is gigantic. And also, if you look at stats, a 10% difference in most stats in most sports is the difference between bench and Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Like, if you change somebody's hit, like the likelihood that they hit a baseball by 10%, they are first ballot Hall of Fame, depending upon what their initial batting average was.
Yeah, if you go somebody batting 500 to 600, like over a long enough curve, it's a psychotic improvement.
Yeah, I mean, like, but okay. For instance, no person, I believe, in baseball history, I remember looking this up for idle conversation at work, no person in baseball history has lifetime hit 400 or 40% of their at-bats have resulted in like an on-base hit.
I'll put Google for...
I believe people have had it for a season or seasons, but never lifetime. It's really fucking hard.
Highest lifetime batting average.
It's like 38.
Highest batting average in Major League history is by Josh Gibson. Mm-hmm. He batted 371 over 14 seasons.
Yeah. Best by a lot. Like, there are people that batted 400 for multiple seasons or a season. No one's ever batted 500 ever, by the way. Which is wild.
I mean, the highest of any kind of like length of time is Josh Gibson.
Yeah.
Like, so.
And 271 is like fine, but 371 is Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean,
actually, 271 is like quite decent. It's not even that bad.
So like the bottom list of 100 is 308 with Branch Russell.
Yeah. So he would go from bottom of the 100 to way above.
I would say to a huge amount above.
Yeah, you had 10%. So yeah, boy out here being crazy. I'm just like, oh, I'm like trying
10%, big fucking deal.
Big fucking number. Also, the difference between 10% is like losing at blackjack to destroying the house. The difference that people who play perfectly and play perfectly in card count is not even, it's like percents. It's not even 10%. And that's the difference between losing to the casino and whooping their ass. Like, that's that difference.
Yeah.
Like, professional card counters are getting like a 3% sway in between the odds, which is like, and that's monumental. That's enough to make a living with enough, like, capital and volume ingress.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's just shut the fuck up, dude. But I'm over here. It's like a Friday Night Magic. I'm trying to be civil, but like this guy's just spouting crazy. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to be a good person, sir. You are testing me. Like,
sir, I don't want to call you a fucking moron.
all right, 2 or 3.
You 2 or 4.
Or 2 or 4. Sorry.
2.
All right. I hope this translates. It very well may not, in which case I apologize. The other day, I had the most prolonged giggle fits in like video game playing history, which was my friend Derek Davis has gotten into this penchant of trolling me when we play Call of Duty, which you should. You're playing Call of Duty. Like, what else are you supposed to do? We're on the same team, and one of the things he likes to do is get in front of my character, obscure my vision, and show me a new item he unlocked as if I give a fuck, like I'm a dad and he's a toddler.
Sure.
So he unlocked this new thing while I went down and changed my laundry in between games. He comes back, and Richard, our editor and awesome friend, is also playing with us, and he goes, "Oh, Derek, you haven't shown Isaac your new thing yet." And I see Derek's character just in the loading zone turn and look at me. I was like, no! And I take off running away from him. And up on the mini map, his character is literally right on my heels. It's like arrow touching arrow. For 3 minutes of game time, we are running around effectively playing tag. Just dying. I'm dying because I'm not paying attention to anything in front of me. Just this arrow that is hot on my shit. Like screaming, no, and dying. And then he's intentionally dying, so he spawns next to me. And it starts all over again. And I'm running away from him. And finally, I just bumped into a corner rock trying to like cut around it and stop me a little too much. And Derek gets in front of me. It's just like, look at it. And it's just like, for whatever reason, one of the melee weapons in Call of Duty is a disembodied cyborg arm, and he had it purple. And I'm like, that's very nice, Derek. He's like, right? And then he went away, and we went back to playing the game. But we both had like a KD of 0 and 10 to start the game.
Jesus.
I was legitimately laughing, crying, screaming, and gasping for air all at the same time for 3 consecutive minutes. I don't think I've ever had such a workout in a chair before. Fuck me. It was so, like...
That's funny.
Friends and video games can be awesome even if the video game is shit and made by bad people.
True.
Alright. And last but not least, my fantastic coworker. We're just chatting, and I love him so much. He's a great guy. He is super animated and will occasionally, not usually make weird noises, but like when you're talking to him, he is like doing interpretive dance of the story with his hands, and not like in a I'm messing with you sort of way. It's just that's the way he hears shit.
Mm-hmm.
Is he like ingested with his hands, which is distracting and annoying as fuck to me, but I love him, so I try to deal with it. And I made some comment, and he goes, "Oh, so you see me like Geezer from Saved by the Bell." And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I take a beat, and I'm like, wait, do you mean Screech from Saved by the Bell? He goes, yeah, Scorch. I'm like, we're educators. Get the goddamn name right. Geezer from Saved by the Bell. The only thing we have in common is there's a double E. And then Scorch?
How do you say it back wrong? That's crazy.
And he said it like, he's not, again, not fucking with me, just being genuine. Yeah, Scorch. No.
Get the dick out of your ears. What are you doing?
It's so fucking funny. All right. So now that I've gotten the dick out of my ears, what is our topic going to be today, Brostenkowski?
All right. Well, since we were raised in a church, the Bible is weirdly metal in places. So we thought about what would be an oddly good show or movie that could be made for Bible stories that haven't been touched or we think haven't been done well.
Could be done differently or
Yeah,
focused
yeah.
on a different way. So before we get into it, we both have one honorable mention. This one I did not know about until doing research for this episode, which was Paul apparently told a sermon so boring that a guy listening to it sitting in the windowsill, as that was the only place there was room because Paul was so famous, got so bored that he fell asleep, fell out, and died, only to then be resurrected by Paul. And Paul, being Paul, didn't go, maybe I should
Pace it up a little.
Pace it up a little bit, just resurrects him and goes right back on preaching. He's like, nope, perfect, no notes. And just like, I vision this as a great episode of drunk humor, of just like, because it's just so absurd. You're like, yeah, I'm telling. So there I am telling to the Hephalikites, and some guy gets so tired of my droll ass sermon that he passes out, falls out a window, and dies. So obviously, I bring him back to life and sit him up and continue the sermon because boy's got to know.
The end.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten to the good part yet.
Jesus, good lord.
What was your honorable mention via our raucous discussion the other day?
So, Revelation would be the weirdest acid trip ever. If you made it to like a music video, some weird like short 10, like some 10-minute kind of video on YouTube, just for like an assault of symbolism.
Like, it would be so good if, I don't know if any of them are dead, but if fucking what was the band we were saying that would be like so good with?
I think you're saying like
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, yeah.
Yeah, they could do they could do a biblical, like a Revelation album.
Like,
and
actually,
so fucking dope.
What you could do in like the style of like Interstellar 5555, you could just do it like a big album long music video.
No, yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like start to finish. Let's fucking trip balls, boys.
Yeah, because just the Revelation of St. John is just psychotic imagery. It's absolutely unhinged. And the weird allegory still kind of confuddles people. Like, I feel like that is the thing where religious scholars just don't want to touch it because they're like, I don't fucking know, man.
Explaining an acid trip was not in my directive.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't know how to make theological comparison on this because it's like a 7-headed dragon. It's like, oh, cool, awesome. I think that's one of the more easy things to explain because there's a lot of use of 7 and 10. Do I remember exactly why? No. Is it explained? Yes. Anyway. But yeah, so crazy album music video. It could go pretty hard. Take it with drugs. Do some peyote first. I don't know.
Peyote and Revelation. my next weekend.
So, way to start your Saturday.
All right. So, have I got a show for you, Mr. Producer Man? All right. So, we're going to start off with this guy. He's picked by God. A prophet comes to him and goes, "You're going to be the king of Israel." He's like, "But I'm just a guy." Like, "No, you're the guy." He's like, "I'm the guy, you're the guy." And then he goes off and makes a family and becomes the king of Israel. And then this like little shepherd dude comes along. And then he like loves the king, but the king doesn't trust him. And so then through like this weird series of events, and God chooses him, and the prophet comes back to the shepherd guy. That guy becomes the new king of Israel. And that guy does some cool shit and some shady shit. And then he has this son who's like crazy smart, except he's kind of a pussy hound, and that fucks over his kingdom. And so like Then he dies, and his son comes in and fucks up like everything and splits the kingdom. Like, fucking think like Game of Thrones in like the OG times. Wow, where did you get this idea? The Bible. So my weird scatterbrain sketch pitch there is Saul, David, Solomon into Rehoboam, like this kind of like Game of Thrones meets Succession arc of
I was going to say some Succession kind of shit here.
yeah, because I mean like Saul starts off nobody, relative nobody, becomes king, does some cool shit, does bad shit.
Yeah.
David comes in and replaces him, not particularly wanting to, is my memory is like being happy to serve the king, and the king is just like, fuck you.
Yeah,
Like,
and like, David hides in a cave for a long time because Saul wants him dead.
and also because also if you took artistic license with this, David's definitely gay for Saul's son. Like those boys be palling around a bit much, if you know what I mean. Then there's the whole thing with Bathsheba, then Solomon, then, this, that, and the other. You have the Solomon Empire and his, like, inability to keep his dick in his cloak. And then you have Rehoboam, who just, on day one, shits all the beds and fucking tears down the kingdom that was just handed to him because he listens to morons that he went to school with.
I really don't remember like Rehoboam.
So Rehoboam comes in. This is where the so doing some research from this, and Dad, feel free to message me and be like, "You're so wrong."
I can just hear him like, "Oh boy,
Yeah,
but time to shine."
Yeah, just clickety clackety. I'm gonna get an email. It's gonna be so wrong. That's what I'm worried about. So Rehoboam comes in, and taxes have been raised because of Solomon's like dealings with other countries and needing to pay homage to other gods and shit, I think.
Okay.
And so the people are like, hey, yo, taxes a bit high. Do you mind? Please kindly.
Would you kindly?
And Rehoboam, instead of, I think he talks to advisors, like his king's court or his like dad's court, who, kind of work for him now. And they're like, yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea. They'd appreciate this. And then he gets drunk and talks to his friends. And they're like, fuck that. What you should tell him is instead of 7 times 7, it's going to be 70 times 7. He like ratchet up by like the taxes by like a multiplier of 10 or some shit and starts a civil war in Israel that breaks it into like he is responsible for the breaking of Israel into Israel and Judah, which persists until the end of the Israelite Empire. Like after like Rome takes it over. It never comes back. Like it breaks it forever. As far as the Bible's concerned. And that's all his dipshittery. So that's my first like how have we not seen the story? Because like the story of Saul is also, one, Saul and David get up to some fucking killing. Solomon gets up to some pussy. And then Rehoboam gets up to some civil war. It's
yeah,
like
I mean, there's a whole
book
of the Bible that is just Solomon being a bit of a chow hound.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Song of Solomon is like biblical erotica, essentially.
So then I laid her on her back. Like, whoa!
Honestly, like it's like artsy erotica. Like there's a reason you never read Song of Solomon in Sunday school. Like, like think about it. Never happened.
Never happened.
Nobody preaches on Song of Solomon. Why? We don't want to explain why the church turned into an orgy.
Yes. We don't want to explain cunnilingus to our children. All right, next up before we gild this lily too much.
Yeah. So Joseph's story is fucking crazy. And is always like so Joseph of the Technicolor Coat, or is it's nuts. It's absolutely psychotic. and it's always shown as like this kind of comedic kid story.
Yeah. Look,
Oh
his
my
son's
God,
rude to him. It has like bullying. It has cool garb.
Yeah.
It's got family coming together at the end. What's not to love?
Well, it starts with his brothers hating him so much for being special.
Yeah, for their dad liking him.
Yeah, for their dad liking him and basically not making him work himself to death on the field. Because the context is like son of Isaac, I think. Please don't mess up lineage.
Yes. No, I think that's right. Because it goes. No, it's not. It's son of who's Isaac's two sons? Because it goes Abraham, Isaac. Isaac has two sons, right? It's Esau and Jacob, so it should be Jacob, right?
Yes, the two sons of Jacob and Rachel.
Yeah,
and so Rachel
it's his only son of Rachel, which is like
no, it's one of two.
Okay, whatever.
Because
that's
Benjamin,
right, the youngest
Benjamin is the other.
Yeah.
But Joseph is firstborn of Rachel.
His favorite bitch.
Yes, I was saying the one that Jacob fucking absolutely slaved himself over for, got ripped off for, and is still like, nah, the pussy is so fire. I'm gonna work another 7 years to get it.
That pussy's so bussin'. 7 years, worth it.
Absolutely worth it. And unlike her sister, because her sister made babies.
Space sister. The broodmare of Israel.
Yeah, broodmare of Israel just churned out kids like a factory.
Which is, it says something, because 100%, let's get into the weeds of this, 100% Jacob isn't coming back to that well, because clearly wasn't worth it. He didn't get her, and then over that 7 years go, you know what, fuck it, this pussy's so good I can get past the face. No, he kept going for 7 years. It was like, clearly was mid. So she's just fertile as fuck.
Yeah.
And just, like every time that that Rachel was not feeling it, that he went over to whatever horse face tent, I don't even remember her name. Whatever her tent, she just got preggers
up her name.
Yeah. He went over there and just whispered at her, and she's like, "Oh, pregnant!" Like it was so fertile. Anyway, please continue.
God damn it! I have to remember his fucking. Where? I do not remember her name. I can't fucking find it in a quick glance. Anyway, I'm sure Dad will absolutely chastise me. Anyway, so Joseph is
Leah.
Thank you. So Joseph is loved by Jacob. His other brothers are low rent comparatively. He gets the fancy coat, and his brothers are like, "Fuck it, that's enough. We hate this guy." They go to kill him. They beat his ass most of the way to death, and almost leave him to die. And like 2 of his older brothers go, "That's kind of fucked. How about we don't leave him to die, but we're gonna fake his death." So they take his coat, kill a goat, dip it in blood, and bring it back with the rationale that like some wild animals ate your son, Jacob. Holy shit! We're like 2 acts in, and this kid, we have beaten him to death. Except, we're not gonna kill him. We're gonna sell him to slavery and just trick our dad. So we can't have him. We can't have him coming home. We said he got eaten to death by wild animals, so we got to make him go away. So we sell him to slavery. So we just have him carted off to Egypt as a slave, where he then goes to work for Potiphar as basically house bitch. Except he's smart, and so he ends up effectively running the house for Potiphar. Potiphar is this Egyptian noble. And he is good enough at what he does, and he's capable, and apparently hot. The Potiphar's wife is like...
That or Potiphar's ugly.
Or heinous, and he can't lay pipe, unlike Jacob.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, and so Potiphar's wife takes after him. And Joseph goes, No, because if my boss catches me, I will die. And in one of the first recorded false accusations that I could think of, she says the guy raped me. He gets his ass thrown in prison. So Joseph, for the crime of existing, has been beaten savagely, sold into slavery, and framed for rape, and gets to serve for years in prison. Because he's left
But
to rot.
wait, there's more.
He gets to rot for like 7 years in prison. But it's there he discovers that he's clairvoyant. It's actually not there. He does do it earlier. But he gets to tell the cupbearer of Pharaoh.
Is it clairvoyant? I mean, he's just reading dreams, right? Is that what clairvoyance means?
Clairvoyance gives you like a vision, like it allows you to kind of see the future, which is effectively what he's doing. He's interpreting dreams to read the future.
Yeah. Oh.
And so he tells the cupbearer, like, so there's two people he gets put in prison with. Is like this baker and the cupbearer of Pharaoh. And he tells the cupbearer, he's like, you're gonna get your job back. You're gonna get reinstated. Good luck to you. Please tell Pharaoh about me. I don't want to rot in prison forever. The baker, he's like, what about me? And the guy's like, nah, you're fucked.
Sorry, bro.
He's like, yeah, you are gonna be executed. Sorry. Happens. Cupbearer, in his fucking idiocy, he gets reinstated. He's so happy. He doesn't tell Pharaoh. So Joseph gets to rot in prison for a while.
Yeah.
And he goes, like, wait a minute. I think I forgot something.
Yeah, after years of service, and then he overhears a circumstance.
Yeah, and they eventually his dumb ass goes, wait, because Pharaoh has this crazy dream. He's like, I need someone who can tell me what the fuck this means. And so then the cupbearer has this moment of epiphany. He's like, I think I know a guy. Meanwhile, cut to Joseph still rotting in fucking jail. Pharaoh talks to him. He goes, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have 7 dope years, and then shit's going to hit the fan everywhere. Because there's going to be a famine. It's going to suck. So he goes from prison to effectively being Pharaoh's right-hand man overnight. Cut to the 7 years of famine. The douchebag siblings who left his ass to die need to eat. Where are they going to go? Well, Egypt seems to be doing pretty well because they had insider information. They get to go grovel before their brother and explain that, like, oh, sorry we almost killed you. Eventually, after he does some duplicitous shit to get comeuppance and make them panic because he gets to be a little petty. And you know what? I think he's earned it. I'm gonna be real. Joseph earned that shit. Yeah, there's nothing kid appropriate about this story. It's super fucked.
Like, the funny part is we do tell the whole story basically every time. It's just the way in which that we like the lens at which we look through it.
Yeah, like there's so much messed up crap in there that's kind of couched.
Yeah. All right. Next up, this is kind of an untold one because I believe it's in the Apocrypha, but the Maccabees would make a fucking metal as shit miniseries. The Maccabees, for those of you who don't know, and if I'm not fucking this up, are the reason that the Jews have like the lighting of the candles every Hanukkah. It is about that story of resilience and resistance.
Oh, they fuck up a bunch of Romans. Yeah,
they fucked up a fuck ton of Romans, and I think some other groups as well. But yeah, the Maccabees were this family that threw down hard as shit. Most of all of them died. I believe the culmination of the Maccabees story effectively. Hold on, let me look this up.
Because like, wasn't the head of the Maccabee family like nicknamed the Hammer?
That sounds right.
Which metal as hell name.
Yeah. So yeah, under the leadership of Judas Maccabeus, aka Judas the Hammer,
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Also, this is against the Seleucid, Seleucid army.
Sure.
It's the precursor to the Roman-backed Herod the Great. But I believe this is this the one that ends with the mountains. So there is I don't remember if this is the way it ends, but there is one of the more famous like Jewish kind of like badass rebellions that happened ends with I believe what is now Camp David in Israel, which is I hope I'm not getting this wrong, but there is a mountain in Israel, I believe it's Camp David, wherein during a famous rebellion, the Jews hold up there, and they hold up there for like fucking ever because they have made this awesome encampment on top of a mountain that it's like really hard to get up, and the ways you would get up to the top of it, they can just hit you with anything, and you can't hit them with shit. And
It's definitely not Camp David, by the way.
Okay.
That's I think of the United States. You think of like Manassas. That doesn't sound right.
Masada.
That's close. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so maybe this is after. Okay, so this is kind of what would later become. So this is like the Masada's after what it's the the people left of the rebellion of the Maccabees later on go to Masada and they hold up there. It's about 1,000 people and they defend after a long as fuck. I think it's like close. I think it is a decade-long siege, but it's like years of a siege when they finally breach the walls of Masada. And the reason they're able to breach is because I believe Masada has a water supply. And it's like, so it's kind of actually, it can hold off indefinitely because you can just grow food there and like have fresh water. And I think they figured out how to stop water from getting in. Like they disrupted the fresh water supply. So everybody in there, all the men draw lots, or 10 men, sorry, 10 men draw lots, and those 10 men are the ones that go in the sleep, like in everybody's sleep, go around and kill every single remaining survivor. And then from there, they draw lots, and that person kills the people who killed everybody, and then kills himself to give the most Pyrrhic victory and give the Romans nothing. And that is the way, more or less, the Maccabee rebellion ends. Is this like last stand? Fuck you.
Yeah, it's huge, huge ritual suicide because nobody wanted to be crucified.
Not only nobody wanted to be crucified, they didn't want them to have anything. They didn't want them to have like slaves or prisoners or anything like that. And they knew what was waiting for them. You defy Rome that long, piss people off. It's not going to be good.
No.
The part that's metal about it is the fact that in Jewish culture, suicide means kind of not allowed in heaven. And so one person effectively abdicated themselves from forever by doing this in their minds. It's just like, Jesus Christ, it's so fucking hardcore. But prior to that, the Maccabee story is just, it's somewhere between, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Braveheart in that they're fighting this uphill battle. Nobody believes they can win. They couldn't. But it was the right thing to fight for. And anytime that they looked like they're going to get help, they often got double crossed by including other Israelite like families because they didn't believe they could win. And they were kind of right. But it was just like anytime they made headway, there was a lot of like backstabbing that went on, not from within the family, but from like
outside
other
sure.
Yeah, families. And so it just like it is fucking awesome. Just badassery, and one of those ones that's just like it would, even if you took the name away and just took the story beats, it's just fucking heavy. You've got this family, they don't give a fuck, they throw down, they get double crossed, they go hard as shit, they've got cool as fuck nicknames, and they don't give up until the last man.
Yeah.
dope fucking story. Would watch all seasons, or the season if you wanted to make it. Like, I think you could probably break it into two, but like you could make it like a 10-part, mini series, hour each, and just go bloody as hell.
Sure. Definitely less bloody, but I think you could do a small series about like some of the highlights of Jesus stories, because a lot of people hear about what Jesus said, and I think it'd be like, okay, here are the actual stories he presented. Here's why. Um, because there's some of them I think that would actually adapt fairly well. The easy two examples that I could think of off the top of my head is like the prodigal son goes over pretty well, pretty easily. Watching someone go bananas, lose it all, and have to hit rock bottom, go back home would be kind of great. Um, because I feel like you could do kind of modern retellings of these if you really wanted to, and just see someone shambling out of a nightclub drunk as hell, being robbed or losing all their money. Um, and the kind of like some of you could show some of the nuance of why that story matters and why it was so weird, like, or why it would be weird to people of the day, like that a patriarch would never run to his son when he came home because other people would kill him.
Yeah.
Um,
The other one
it,
I was thinking about the other day that isn't a parable but just happens to Jesus is the demon and like the dude that just walks up and then he's
oh,
like, yeah, put it into those pigs. Pigs just like, what? It's like,
Ravacliff.
I just see it as a my cabbages moment for Jesus. It's like my pigs.
um, let's say the other one that I think plays really well is like the Good Samaritan. Just get to start with some poor bastard just going to Jerusalem, getting beaten savagely. Get kind of like a not a Martian sort of vibe, but just you get a lot of weird FaceTime with some poor dude just bloody and battered with an internal monologue.
So the next one up I have is an interesting one that if you grew up in the church and paid attention outside of Sunday school, you might know, but otherwise you probably don't, which is the post story of Moses and the Israelites when he actually gets them out of Egypt and into a state of complaining for 40 years incessantly. It's so hot out here. Where's the water? Moses doesn't know where he's going.
We're
Just
hungry.
yeah, just so all the complaints, none of the appreciation.
They're bringing
to
problems, not
to which
solutions.
at multiple points they go, Egypt wasn't that bad. Like talk about like actively there are multiple points in the Bible where they more or less talk about
They
it would have been better if we stayed.
Yeah, they reminisce about the good old days of being enslaved.
Of just being whipped incessantly and being not people. But there are many, so there is the obtaining of the 10 commandments, the breaking of the 10 commandments, the slaughtering of 10% of the saved population because they made a golden cow.
Yeah, not their finest moment.
Then
Idolatry is very frowned upon in Judaism.
yeah, kind of one of the first 5 commandments. uh and then going up and building another 5 or 10 commandments, then walking around having people complain, bitch slapping a stone until water comes out of it, not going to heaven because of that is wild, but also that, or not going to heaven, not seeing the promised land, sorry, or
Well, I would say
arguably
they
one of the most
didn't go to the.
definitive.
I'd say there was the 40-year delay because like they were afraid.
Yeah, but Moses is not allowed to. The reason that he goes up the mountain and doesn't return is because God is kind of pissed at him. Like he was initially going to go to the promised land with the Israelites, but then more or less because he didn't, what he's supposed to do is supposed to talk to the stone and it'll produce water. But he's like angry and kind of wants to get the people's respect. So he strikes the stone with his staff, and then it produces water, and God is
Hmm.
displeased with them for not trusting him.
Huh.
But one of the ones that we like the most is that in one of the battles, while they're wandering around trying to ask for directions, is they come. What's the name of the poor country that they probably committed genocide against afterwards? Is it the Amalekites, or who's the? I remember you telling me about this.
Uh,
Anyway, some ites out in the fucking desert rock up, fuck with the Israelites, and to assure their victory, God says to Moses, basically pray the whole time. He's like, got this. He's like, oh, hard mode, okay, with your arms raised.
Yeah,
And so he's got to.
that's the Amalekites. So I didn't know where you were going with this.
Yeah. So versus the Amalekites, Moses has to have the longest prayer session with Jesus, all while doing the wave, and just needs help from his brother Aaron. And I think it's another notable character, but I can't remember who it is. And they both hold his arms up because otherwise Moses is going to pass the fuck out because the Israelites are taking a little too long to win. And then they end up winning the battle because, Moses did what God asked for or whatever.
Turns out divine intervention is a hell of a thing.
Yeah. But I mean, like, also, a lot of the battles back, though, and the way they're described, if done to scale, would be fucking...
Oh, yeah, that'd be crazy.
Epic shit, so... Big fan.
I mean, there's also, like, Jericho is always solid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that happens with... Does that happen with Moses, or is it after him?
No, that happens with Moses.
Happens with Moses? Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was just, like, slightly after him or not, but yeah, the walls of Jericho, which... Dope-ass society, they really did have a badass wall.
Now I have to fucking check. Like 80. Things are blurred.
Yeah. Big book of books.
No, it's by Joshua. That's right. It's right after Moses dies.
Yeah, I was right.
You're right. You're right. That's Joshua. My bad. My B.
So, the important takeaway here: Isaac was right. It's Eli's turn. Go.
So, for my namesake, I think that Elijah and Elisha could do kind of a baller miniseries. Now, whether you want to do it predominantly on Elijah and have it kind of end with the ascension and fiery chariots taking him away, because I think in many ways Elijah has the much more compelling story because he is like a great antagonist. Because Jezebel is a horrible witch.
And her husband's a dumb bastard.
Her husband is a dumb simp.
Also, I believe the way he dies is just sad.
I don't remember how he dies.
I'll look that up. Please continue.
Yeah. I would say, but he's like Elijah has the first biblically recorded resurrection. And I mean he is the person who anoints David. I think it's him who anoints David, like 90% sure.
Who?
Elijah.
No, it's Samuel. I'm like 99% sure it's Samuel. You're talking about King David, right?
Yeah. You may be right.
No, it's Samuel. It's literally in 1 Samuel.
Fair enough. These judges. But you do have a vaporizing people. You have absolutely ridiculing and humiliating the prophets of Baal.
Before lighting them all on fire. Or no, chasing them into a river and beheading all of them.
Yeah. Which is the most tremendous biblical smack talk of saying, your God might be still in the can, pray louder. He needs to hear you.
The going from also just the what a great pivot turn though of just we'll have this. You guys take your time. They try nothing. Then goes, all right, pour water on mine.
Make it harder for me.
Yeah, I
have a point to
weight.
Prove. Yeah. More weight.
Does that, lights it on fire, has been sort of like chummy, making fun of, but kind of toying with the prophets of Baal. And then fire comes down and he goes, all right, time to die. Everybody gather the prophets of Baal. We're going to have a cookout, and just takes them all down to the river and cleans up shop.
Yeah, it's... Elijah is responsible for a lot of dead people.
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy.
his stats are
His stats are
bananas.
bananas. He also is like one of the craziest run times where he just outruns a chariot because he gets the Godspeed for a moment, just zooms by. Yeah, and I mean, Elijah does have cool. He just has less of a focused antagonist, so you could extend it into the Elijah story if you wanted. But I do feel like it would have a good end with the passing of the cloak and
Yeah.
him getting
Also, I mean, the banger one for Elijah is rad.
the 42 youths being eaten by bears because they dare call him bald.
Yeah. Just for all us less haired fellows out there, just like getting a nice little fuck yeah, get him. Just a boomer moment if there ever was one. Oh, call me bald, bitch. I'll call your parents with your death notice. How about that? And
There's
then came two she bears where they mauled the children to death.
like there's some weirdly petty shit in the Bible like
It's
that.
so great.
It's like what? This is a religious text. Well then, all right. We've got a couple that we don't know that would do well as a series, but they would do great as an individual movie. So, what's your first pick for a good movie to come out of the Bible? What do you got?
Look, man, the story of Samson has been done, but it's always one of two things always gets glossed over. One, the sheer athleticism and body count that Samson racks up is insane. Boys out here just fucking mollywhopping just units with like
He's basically
leftover lunch meat.
he's
Like he's like
he's
halfway
basically
through.
Hercules.
Yeah, no, he's just Hercules, but he often finds himself out on lunch having a snack when he gets besought, and he's like, "All right, I'll use what I got," and just goes ham with ham, like just fucking just dropping people with leftover with leftover bones from his snack. Just the jawbone of an ass, just going, all right, and just fucking people with spears and shields, and I don't give a fuck. So that part gets glossed over. The other one that gets glossed over is this sheer wop that fucking Delilah must have been just waltzing around town with. Because our boy Samson just jelly and gave her some jamming, if you know what I mean. Like, she tricked him so many times and he kept coming back to what must have been the pussy of the Middle East. Just the fucking top tier twat of I was gonna say the Tiberius, but that's not the right river. Fucking, she must have had it. She was the Marilyn Monroe of her day, and I feel like that gets kind of glossed over because Samson's not an idiot. He is just Twitter pated as fuck and cannot just he can't walk it off. So those two things, and also the way it ends is way more metal than this like pull back and shit falls down. Boy had a moment and fucking rode it to victory, and just yeah, like come on, it would make a banger movie starting off with this badass. Then they hire, the villains hire this honeypot, and then boy
Yeah.
just
Oh
can't
my
quite get
god.
free.
Sorry, the jawbone of an ass. He slays 1,000 Philistines. Jesus Christ.
Nice platoon you got here.
what if I've got a mandible?
What if, yeah, I've got a mandible. What if I made a mass grave out of it?
Sorry, 1,000. Jesus.
Dude, the Bible stats are bananas. They are out of this world. The story of Gideon is crazy. Oh, there was 400 of these, 400,000 of these guys, 500,000 of those, dude, 800,000 of these guys. How many you got, Gideon? Yeah, send them home. Now send more of them home. Send more of them home. All right, yeah. No, now go kill 1,000,000. All right, boss. Like, what? All right. Next up, who we got?
All right. So, speaking of killing a lot of people. All right. So, one of the lesser known assassins in the Bible, because there aren't that many that I could think of.
Yeah, he doesn't. Despite genocide,
Wait,
God's not out here being
I
like
was say
sneak in and kill people.
God does not do subtlety.
No, he likes to put people on blast.
Yeah, you will know.
My name is the Lord.
Lord. So Moab is one of the people, or one of the nations that kind of kicked on Israel for a while. And there was a particularly nasty king, King Eglon, who ruled over the Israelites for nearly 2 decades.
With the fattest of
I
asses.
would say he was a fat motherfucker. So Israelites in their persecution go, God give us somebody. We got my man Ehud. And so Ehud is left.
So he sent a hood after him.
We said Ehud, single hood. So Ehud is left-handed, which you weren't.
One of these podcasters enjoys more than the other.
Mm-hmm. Which in yonder times you weren't. Full stop. And so he takes.
So hold on. So God hired a hood to throw shit at him, because that's what you do with your left hand.
Yeah, it was the ritualistically unclean hand. So because he's left-handed, he would draw a sword from his right side, because you draw from the opposite side. So he hides a 12-inch blade on his right thigh. He then gets to sneak in, is searched.
They patted him down and went, "That's all me, baby."
You need to calm down, say this is working. So he gets to sneak in. It doesn't, like, people like don't see the sword on his left thigh. It's like, oh, he's clean, I guess. I guess it's now where you pat both sides. He gets to go in, hang out in like a private room with the king, because he insists, like, I have information that is I have secret information for only the king. He takes the 12-inch blade and it sinks all the way into the guy. It just gets swallowed up by the fucking fat. Yeah, so
sir, we can't find the murder weapon.
And so the sword got pushed into the king's belly. The sword went into Eglon's belly so far that even the handle sank in. The fat closed around it. Yeah, it literally it slurped the sword.
It was a sword slurp.
Yeah, the point of the blade came out his back, and Ehud left the sword inside Eglon. He just
byline, because he fucking wasn't reaching in that nasty to get it back.
At a certain point, it's yours.
You earned it.
So he leaves. He tells the servants, "Oh, the king is taking a shit," to buy time for him to slip away. But at the end of the time installed, he fucks off and just bolts. Where he has people waiting in like the hills. He fucking sounds the alarm, and they charge the Moabites, who now, with no king in charge, they are disordered. Chaos reigns supreme. And they just murder them. Like, they killed 10,000 people in the aftermath of like the absolute chaos and bedlam that ensues. They just slaughtered them.
Israelites, big fan of the ritualistic slaughter.
Just go absolutely ape shit crazy. But yeah, just absolutely run the fat man through.
Sounds like a great album. Run the fat man through. I listen to that. So I have one that I feel like it's often referenced in movies and occasionally used as like a kind of light rubric or homage in certain types of like dramatic films. But the story of Job is insane.
Yeah.
Of just like, you could definitely zhuzh it up as like a dark comedy of like, start with God and the devil having a drink at like a celestial bar or something and kind of talking shit. Because more or less it's how it starts. Is the devil's like, I'll bet I could change. I'll bet I could turn him. And
Yeah.
God's like, yeah, I don't think so. Look at this guy. He's so dope. And the devil's like, bet? He's like, bet. Like, so the devil goes down to Georgia and just fucks this whole man's life up, stem to stern. Just, oh, nice crops you got there. Would be terrible if whoosh. Nice family you got there. Would be terrible if like something fell on all of them at the same time.
Be a
Just
damn shame if.
Everything that is bad, just like other than the death of Job, happens to Job. And then Job has the audacity. This is my favorite part. We're like, God, the fuck? God's like, whoa! How dare you, sir? I was out here winning a bet. That's more or less the story of Job.
And then his friends absolutely sandbag him at the end too.
Oh, what do his friends do? I forgot that part.
Yeah, they get he spends time with his friends, and the second his friends open his mouth after like vigil of him losing his family, they're kind of assholes. Like,
It's like, wow, real downer. Don't think we'll invite you back, Job. Like that, or
they're like, why? Basically saying like, why don't you renounce your faith? It's been like all these fucked up things have happened to you. It's like, Jesus Christ, this is what we're gonna hit him with this one, really.
You couldn't be like, sorry, bro, that sucks.
Yeah, like they couldn't just be decent friends. Instead they were like, now's a good time to talk about renouncing faith. So as kind of hit on earlier, I think that Israel against the Amalekites would do a pretty good story because they are cited as kind of early antagonists of the Israelites in when they are on the desert. Like they are ambushed and kind of harassed for resources by the people of Amalek, culminating in their giant mass fight and arguable extermination, where Moses has to hold his hands. And I do think to scale, just having a battle that goes an entire day would be awesome. Like that would just be a baller cinematic thing to have go. Like, because then you could have a lot of fun with like, because his hands start to fall. Like they don't have Aaron and whoever was on left hand duty they're at the start, so like they have to hold them up later because his hands start to falter, and so they start to lose. And so it's like you could do kind of a fun tides of battle thing with that as well. Like I think there's a lot of cool creative licensure that could go into
that. Yeah. All right, rounding out my last entry into our category of films, we've got Sodom, Gomorrah, and Lot's Lot in Life. Listen, Sodom and Gomorrah is insane. In not only, I believe it's Moses trying to be like, or not Moses, sorry, Abraham kind of being like, hey God, I know these two sounds suck turbo ass, but like, if I find, bartering with God, like I think he starts at like 100 and he gets down to like, I just need to find 10 or like one guy that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
In these towns, and you won't just like cleanse them with holy fire. God's like, all right. And he ends up coming a little bit short of his number, and or God decides that what if I just took that guy out and then cleansed it with holy fire? Either way, Lot is the only decent human in all of Sodom and Gomorrah. And he's there, and God sends two angels, which angels back in the day, like the way they are drawn is bizarre given the way they are described. Because it is the equivalent of casting Tom Cruise to be the like Jack Reacher character. Because Jack Reacher is described as 300 pounds, all muscle, 6'10" black dude.
He's described as a refrigerator with arms.
Yeah, a tall beefcake of a black refrigerator with arms. And instead of sending Black and Decker, they send the fucking Tom Cruise. It's like, that's the equivalent difference here between the way angels are described and the angels that are drawn or shown in movies. They're not these, how beautiful, creatures. They are, oh God, what is that? Of a, like, look up the description. It talks about the amount of eyes and arms and shit they got rocking around. They aren't in human form, anywhere close to it, in fact. So the fact, which makes it extra special, that when the two angels show up to help Lot get out of town, the whole debaucherous town goes, hey, Lot, nice friends. Mind if we fuck them? Lot goes, no, have my daughters instead. These are guests. Which, fuck me, I love that. That is so hilarious. Oh, these are my guests. No, take my children.
You know,
Which
you
they
gotta
kind
do
of
what you gotta do, I guess.
Yeah. Then after having, some delightful coffee or whatever, the angels go, all right, we probably should leave. Go outside, blind the town so that Lot and his family can leave. They are given one directive: don't look back. Just a good life directive in general, I think. But Lot's wife was apparently worried that she left something in the kitchen on. I don't know. It turns around and becomes
a pillar of salt.
Which, I mean, to be fair, at least he turned her into something useful. So hopefully they garnered up Mom and took him with them, because salt, fucking
very valuable,
really good commodity to have a person's weight of. Hopefully he had a fat wife. But
let me say this, like, they stopped in the middle of this cataclysmic
dude,
event.
with that much? Just don't turn around. Bag facing the opposite direction. I don't know.
Backpedal, scoop it into the bag.
Yeah. For respect for your mom and our financial situation, now that we don't have a house, let's bag up Mom's salt carcass and get out of here. Anyway, what's your final pitch for a biblical film?
I think you could have a dope kind of political thriller with Esther. Because Esther and her father Mordecai working basically as subtle and as surreptitiously as possible to save the Jewish people under the rule of King Xerxes. Where effectively Esther's identity as Jewish is unknown. And you have the right-hand man of the king, Haman, absolutely trying to get the ball killed because he hates the Jews. Because that's, in vogue in the time.
Just in the time, though.
Yeah, just
it's not like it's precipitated to every time.
I'm going to stop now. We don't need to get into this.
I'm just saying it's always been in vogue.
They have taken a lot of shitty L's. It's true. So I think there would be there's a lot of room for a really cool kind of political thriller, and the politicking that would go in with her trying to win favor with Xerxes, and the really satisfying comeuppance at the end where Xerxes goes, no, they get to stay. Haman, you need to go. Because that guy sucks. So bad. God, he is the worst. And I think it'd be a really good self-contained story. Because it's one of those, it's, for being in the Bible, it really isn't overly religious. It really is just effectively a political thriller. It is just, I have a limited time frame. I need to get in really good with Xerxes, who is an arranged marriage. I need to prove that I'm worthwhile. I need to prove that my people are worthwhile, and I need to kind of undermine this horrible man that has his ear.
And the kind of cool thing about it too is that despite its adult themes, it doesn't ever really get into any weird sexualness. It's a cool blend of biblical story that doesn't have any religious leanings, tells us a real life story that, as far as we know, actually happened, and the way it's done is without it kind of teaches it. It has a very strong feminist circumstance in that the way she goes about it is through intellect instead of unveiling her beauty to him or anything like that. It
Yeah.
doesn't lean into any like kind of misogynistic or anti-feminist leanings for having a female character who's got to quote like trick or unveil the eyes of somebody in higher power. It's pretty awesome in that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are our 6 movies and 6 miniseries that we think would be really cool coming from biblical fanfare. If you have some that you think we missed out on that haven't been done to death, there's a couple that we just obviously glossed over because they've done a shit ton or been done well.
Yeah.
So, but if we missed over any that are some of your favorites, or there was any one of these that you kind of were blown away with, please hit us up on superprosbros at Blue Sky or at superprosbros@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. All right. And with that, we're going to go to our ad break. See you in a minute.
Is violence your love language?
I mean, just when I'm with the homies, but not like that.
Would you like to commit war crimes but not go to jail?
Who doesn't, bruh?
When somebody says stories, your first thought, unga bunga, me no like letters.
Yeah, like, what is this, a book report from Mrs. Beavis's class?
Do you have no friends?
I mean, like, me and my mom are... Hey, wait a minute!
Well, then have I got a game for you. No story, all just boom, boom. And the best part is, regardless of the way you lose, you always have someone or something to blame it on. Like adderalized children.
They don't have real jobs. Of course they have the time to be better than me. It's like they're cheating.
But Asian children.
I heard they raise them in labs, and like they don't even get to leave their bed. They just have to play there and then sleep in between lobbies.
Or perhaps your garbage internet connection.
See, Ma, I told you. If you spent the extra $400 a month, I wouldn't be angry like this. I wouldn't flip tables over, then you wouldn't have to clean my basement. Come on, it's worth it.
And wait, there's more. I haven't even gotten into the societal benefits. By playing this game, you too can reduce real-life gun violence, improve your hand-eye coordination, like your dad wanted to with Little League, and make it easier for women to choose Mr. Right. So what do you say? Do you want to pay $113 for this month's Halo Cry Battle Strikes Battlefield Battle Pass with the gold skin camo?
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Hey, we're back. Funny seeing you here.
It is.
So, what have you been watching recently? Any new kind of holy shits to talk about?
I have some new giggles. It started very recently. It's called City, the animation. It's basically just Nichijou with more budget.
Yeah, it looks like it has a little bit more money.
Yeah, it's the
but
same.
Still has the same style.
Yep, it's the same style. It's the same goofy kind of like little sketch comedy.
Is it the same characters?
It's just better. it's just a better version of Nichijou, as far as I can tell.
Is it the same characters?
Or... No, it's
okay. New story, just that vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Like it's the same kind of goofy nonsense little sketch comedy vibe.
Sweet.
I've seen like 2 episodes. It's fucking great. So dumb.
Nice.
Like it starts with this talk about like it really sets the tone of the first 3 minutes. It talks about like this ancient bird that was a symbol and it's been passed through generations and it's been transmogrified to do all these different things in society. And this story is not about that bird. Like that's how it opens.
Nice.
So dumb. I love it. It's great.
Well, I controversially saw something that was, I don't want to say it's so dumb, but it wasn't lovely. I went and finally got around to seeing Nezatu, and one, do not watch the dub. It is rough on the eyes. Also, there's a couple things that it looks whack with the dubbing, and I think there's a couple voice lines that they just cut, which is weird. Also, the people are drawn weird as fuck. Like, so if you look, the monsters that are in it and the main character that is Neza look good. But every other person looks fucking weird. It looks like the uncanny valley of an animated porcelain doll. It is fucking strange to look at. And then to top it off, the story is based off an old myth. And as all old myths, this was written a long time ago before we wrote a lot of stories and figured out what did and didn't work. And it's just fucking a couple things that are just, to me, read as strange. They also try to insert humor, which I can't quite put down why it didn't. There were times it worked, and there were other times it was like, this feels like it's kind of taking away from the story. I don't know about this. Overall, not bad. I do think this is one of those ones that in years to come is going to be like, nah, this wasn't that good. I wouldn't be surprised if it's overhyped and overlauded kind of surreptitiously, given it's a Chinese production that had a lot of money put behind it.
Sure.
If you get my suggestions, it is not bad, but I went out of my way to see it, and I was annoyed at that. If I had seen it like sitting on my couch, I've been like, okay, whatever. But it is, fucking looks strange and feels strange and meh. So, as you mentioned earlier,
as I mentioned, I've been playing a shitload of Borderlands 4. I kind of gave like the lowdown, but I think it's quite solid. If I was going to give Borderlands 2 a 9 out of 10, I would give Borderlands 4 like 8.5. I think as far as a game goes, it is better. I think the writing is not quite as tight, and the humor is not quite as good, but it definitely has some very good humor. Zane is the best. He's basically just a fucking cocky drunk Irishman. Love him. 10 out of 10. He is the best character. You don't get as much Claptrap as I wish you got, but the little bit you get for Claptrap is great.
Honestly, I kind of would. Is the Claptrap's not part of the main cast?
No, he's like, you kind of run into him a little bit at the start, and he shows up like a little bit for some side missions.
Given the fact that his voice acting isn't the same as 1 and 2, I'm kind of okay with that.
Sure.
Because they kept the same voice actor from 3, right? That's my understanding.
I imagine so. I haven't checked.
Yeah. So I'm given that, I'm kind of okay with it.
Sure.
But overall, what would you rate it out of? Like, if 2, it sounds like 2 is a 10 for you. Like Borderlands 2.
So I said if 2 is a 9 out of 10. I don't think it's perfect, but it's really good. If 2 is a 9, I give this one an 8 or an 8.5.
Damn.
It's really solid. Like, I really enjoyed it.
No, I love to hear that.
Yep.
It makes it likely that I will have to buy it, which means you might have to buy me a big birthday present. More on that later. Anyway, so I haven't been playing a game, but I have been listening to some tunes, and I cannot get the song. Okay, this is one that I actually don't know. Is that the name of the song or the band? Okay, so the band is Destroy Boys, and the song is Drink. Fuck me, I cannot get enough of this song. It is so good. It is a bit of a slow beat. It's not a very quick bop, but it's just like, yeah, it's just if you're looking for a little bit of like a grungy, like a little bit angry rock, not ballad, but definitely like groove, this is your shit. I would highly recommend. And with that, what are we quippening today?
We are quippening some Ghostbusters. So because when someone tells you someone asks if you're God, you say yes.
All right, well, take it easy there.
I would say that was your rationale for why.
Shut up. All right. Before he asks who we're gonna call, we're gonna put on the timer. 3, 2, 1, hit it.
That's a big Twinkie.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Normally, you don't see that kind of behavior in a major appliance.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Oh, he slimed me.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Yes, it's true, sir. This man has no dick.
I mean, if there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. What? They've never made them like this.
Personally, I like the university. They gave us money and facilities. We didn't have to produce anything. You've never been called out. You've never been out of a college. You don't know what it's like out there. I've worked in the private sector. They expect results.
Your plan was get them?
I'm fuzzy on the whole good bad thing. What do you mean bad? Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
I have seen some shit that would turn you white.
Being miserable is every New Yorker's God-given right.
We had part of a slinky, but I straightened it.
If we're wrong, nothing happens. We go to jail peacefully, quietly. We'll enjoy it. But if we were right, Lenny, you will have saved the lives of millions
of registered voters.
And with that synchronicity, you have our episode. Thank you for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this, please feel free to
like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe.
But don't forget, new episodes of Super Pros Bros come out the first and third Saturday of every month.
Bye.
Bye.